So first of all, in the order of the programme that was out for the Blackburn game, I've got the original pen picks, so we'll do it at the time of that. We'll introduce them one by one. So let's start off. So the first player out, at the time was 25 years old, was a chap called Tony McDonald, signed prior to the start of the season, having a regular with Beezer Homes Premier side Ashford Town, and has already proved to be a versatility in several positions. Tony McDonald, are you still versatile? No. Welcome. Next up, very young Duncan Hall. He was a 21-year-old utility player at the time, signed at the start of the 87-88 season for a major fee of £2,500 from Maidstone United, and previously played for Charlton Athletic in the Football League, it says here. So let's see if Duncan's still got the youthful 21-year-old looks. So welcome out Duncan Horn. Next up, Neil Clements, a local player who has filled several positions since signing from near neighbours Dartford 3 years ago. Aged 24 at the time, he's equally at home in either the full-back position or midfield, and quite a brave player at the time as well. He used to get kicked quite a lot from my memory and give it out too. But welcome him out now, Neil Clements. Next up, Ray Burgess, a one club man, it says here, who even at the time in 88-89 had made his 900th appearance. My word. And in his 17th season, even at that time, he began as a fullback and now plays in midfield, scorer of 4 goals in the last 6 matches, so a nice record there. Ray is being groomed for a managerial post within the club. Did that happen? I'm not sure. Welcome out Ray Burgess. Next up, a chap called Terry Robbins. Striker signed from Hexander of Crawley Town in 1986 for a fee of £8,000, having netted over 50 goals in a season for the Sussex club. He has twice led the Welling scorers despite injury, and he is again the leading scorer this season. I think he led the scoring race a few other times after that for Welling. But welcome out Terry Robbins. Next up, Tony Reynolds, former Ashford Town and Maidstone United midfielder, who joined 2 years ago for a 4-figure fee. Now aged 25, Tony was noted as a professional speedway rider with Kings Lynn and Canterbury. I think Tony did some other things after that season, including managing. Welcome, Tony Reynolds. Last up tonight of our legends from that game is Nigel Ransom, long-serving team captain, now aged 29 and with over 700 appearances to his credit. A former rugby county player, it says here, he missed the previous round of the competition due to injury, but I think knowing how brave Nigel was at the time, he would have still played on anyway. Welcome out Nigel Ransom. Right, let me talk you through what we're going to try and do tonight. So we've got a bit of we basically want to have the opportunity to remember four people involved around the club. Graham Hobbins, obviously co-owner and manager, Stuart White, John Glover, and more recently passed away Paul Collins. So what we'd like to do to celebrate their career here and their lives is to have a minute's applause for them. So if we could stand up. Let's have a minute's applause for these 4 or 5 people. Let's start now. Thank you. Yeah, question about it.
Was there any tactical plan for the game in terms of who mark who or how you were going to approach the game?
I think we every game, because Nick Briggers was very good at setting the games up, whoever we played. Whether it was a Kent Senior Cup game against some Great Beam League somewhere side, that he always used to set him and others used to have a game plan. Didn't matter who we played, and it was no different for the Blackburn game. We all had our jobs. I think Clem on the day had to do a marking role, didn't you, Clem? And which Clem was, always sort of doing most games anyway. But it was we approached it in exactly the same manner as we did do week in, week out. So nothing changed. The free kicks, everything was worked at as we worked at every day. At that time, and I've said it before when we've had these nights, we were very, very organised, and that's why we were a good side. Everyone knew everyone's jobs. We were a good bunch of friends on and off the field, which helped immensely throughout those seasons. And we all just looked forward to each game as it comes. Didn't matter who it was, but obviously Blackburn was, it was a dream, wasn't it?
What was the ingredient to it?
Go on, Ice, you're captain.
Well, I think a lot of us had all grown up together. It was different in those days. You look at the pitch out there now, and it's an immaculate pitch. You think back to when we probably played Blackburn and some of the games. I remember the water running down the pitch. You look at the programme that's going round, 6,000 people in here, all standing. You look at one of the photographs I was looking at, there's about 10 people, all you see is the heads where they were like that, and you could literally lean over and touch the players. And I think this was not a place that people liked to come and play, but it was great for us. Because we knew our ground, we knew what was going to be like. You get 1,500, 2,000 in here on a normal game, things like that, and it was a fantastic atmosphere. But, I know they joke about things like a place called Charlie Chan's and things like that, but we were out together at football, trained together, went out together, and it was very much that team ethos that actually saw us through.
I'm not here.
But it was very much like that. People who come in during the years, they were used to that atmosphere as well, and it was about that atmosphere, I think, that saw a lot of players come to Welling, and also a lot of teams not like to come to Welling. And I think that's one of the reasons we were so successful. To me now, when I come here, it's quite sedate. It's quite nice. You've got the stand on the other side, all that sort of thing. Whereas before you had the shelf, etc., and everyone used to stand over there, and it was much more of an intimidating place for the opposition. Great for the local team, but it's not quite the same now, I don't think. And that's, to me, why we did so well, really.
Not only that, you had the loyalty as well.
Yeah.
Look how many players here that's played quite a few years. It wasn't like a case of like, oh, 1 year and then you get offered more money to go off elsewhere. You just stuck with it, you know.
You always get one. I think and we just went to Euston Railway Station, we all turned up. If Maidstone was there, they was in first class, all his breakfast, didn't they? All in their suits, we had shell track suits, didn't we? Ham trolls.
They were nice.
And get a seat wherever we could.
I think Mason were quite envious of those shells. Eric.
We got 3 for 1.
One size fits all.
Chips and I was sitting there with the trees rolled.
Yeah, but coming back, if it was on the same train as Maidstone, we'd got the result and we was all singing.
Yeah. Mind you, what was the happier club?
Yeah.
So we're getting paid more now, so.
Don't matter, it's not bad.
See, that's the thing. Going back to the last question, the camaraderie was second to none what we had here. And Nigel's exactly right. You know, we used to play hard, train hard, and then we used to go out and enjoy ourselves on a Saturday night, and I emphasise only on a Saturday night, and that was each and every one of us. You don't get it now. I don't care what football club it is. You don't get the camaraderie of what you had. Not just us. There were other sides. You know, Macca went to Dover. I went to Gravesend after here, and the camaraderie was good. I went back to Ashford and finished my playing career there. Camaraderie was good. I was lucky. At Maidstone, you were one of a number of players. You know, I was mates with Dunk, so we used to go out, but that's how it is at most clubs, unless you're very, very lucky. And the camaraderie that we had was fantastic, and I'm sure all the lads would agree. It was, you know, probably the best experience of our playing careers, because not only that, you know, we still see one another all now. There's not many clubs that probably have got still the friendship that we had for all them years ago, and we're talking 20 odd years ago now, that we still meet FA Cup day and have a game of golf and a beer together. You know, that doesn't happen, does it? Doesn't, you know, and it's fantastic.
One of the most important things as well, though, it was a family club, isn't it? And the
Yeah.
support and the supporters
Yeah.
are family. You guys are fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't, when they say it was an intimidating place, it wasn't an intimidating place to come to. They didn't like playing against us because it was organised, but we loved playing it because of the fans.
I don't know if you remember Peter Green, he was the physio in days. He took me private to get an x-ray, and they literally said to me, like, your hips are absolutely shot, like a 70-year-old man. That's why I give up overnight, because obviously I have my own business, and business was more important to football. So that's why.
The rest of you, was it just an imagination of your...
It's imagination.
I've never been quite so since I broke my neck. They're good players, didn't we?
Remember the setup that we had? We had 2 centre-halves, we had Duncan behind, we never had a left back. Rams did all the left side. We had a right back and we had a right winger, Whitey. So all that work was down the right hand side. If we did go down, obviously that was Tony. So we were set up. Every time Barris took the goal kick, it was always all over one side. And it was that, even in training, we would work on it. We free kicks and corners.
Yeah.
You watch nowadays and they take a corner and it hits the front post, the first man on the free kick. Like, you'd never do that,
No.
or Phil or whatever.
Pressure.
And we had 4 people. You were number. I mean, Mac was number 1. Everyone had a number where they had to be for free kicks and corners. So we was.
I remember going to Altrincham, and no one liked going to Altrincham when Kingy was manager, and we were always under the cosh. Yeah, they had a good side, and we went up there, and we were under the cosh for 85 minutes, and I think we had a free kick right at the death nice, didn't we? You scored with an header. That was something that we worked on week in, week out. 85 minutes under the cosh, had one opportunity, bang, we scored from it. And that was the difference. That's why we was a successful side at that time. Because we did score a lot of goals from set pieces, corners, the near post. I'm sure your supporters used to think, oh, God. You know, well, look, they're going to do the little fake over, then Whitey's going to swim. You know, I still do it now.
one time we went, let's warm up at the top, and we all were at the top except Nige, because he used to run up and down, and he still continued to run up and down. See, I'm warming up down now. Yeah, I've got my routine.
Lads, down here!
Very fortunate to be promoted with Barnet and with Wigan, and to be perfectly honest with you, you're talking about two majorly well set up clubs that could just do the transition from part-time to full-time, and you have to be full-time, you have to go ahead with everything to even stand a chance. You've got to hit the ground running in that league because it is hard.
Yeah, I honestly think that they would struggle
Financially, yeah.
Financially, because I mean, at the end of the day, we'd have all had to go
Full-time.
full-time, we'd have to
Yeah.
go full-time.
Yeah.
It would have been a struggle for them.
It's in a different...
So I think, you know, when Nicky Brigden, when I was here, Whitey and Tony, the delivery of their free kicks was so spot on. You watch a Premiership now, and they can't even clear the first defender.
Yeah, I know.
And you see, I went to watch the Chelsea fan. I went to watch Chelsea Sunderland on Saturday, last Saturday. Didn't want the dog.
Didn't take the dog with you.
But you see Lampard hit the ball into like the second tier. You know,
Yeah.
I'm thinking 100 grand a week.
Yeah.
Tony Reynolds and like Whitey or Phil Hanford could deliver a ball straight on your head. I mean, absolutely. I had to do. I was number one, as Tony said, on the corner, you know, near post,
Yeah, 1, 2,
and
3,
the
4.
ball was always on my head. Absolutely, the delivery was fantastic.